The woman picked up a rock and smashed open a large sea snail, eagerly stuffing the meat into her mouth, only to discover it tasted horribly fishy and rotten. Not far away, a man was enjoying what looked like a luxury feast. Fresh fish, sashimi, and chunks of lobster meat sat in front of him. Unable to ignore her hunger, the woman deliberately walked past him. Sure enough, after only a few steps, the man called out to her and invited her to join him. She hurried over, grabbing handfuls of fish and lobster without the slightest hesitation. Seeing how quickly she was eating, the man kindly handed her a freshly opened coconut. At that moment, there was nothing left of the elegant, wealthy wife she used to be, which the man found amusing. He could hardly believe that a yacht steward like himself had ended up stranded on a deserted island, alongside a beautiful young socialite. But what surprised him even more was that she left him with a kiss before walking away. From that day forward, the woman lowered her guard and slowly began trusting and depending on the poor fishermen who could catch food and cook for them. Although the island was remote, the surrounding ocean provided more than enough food, so starvation was never a concern. Together, they gathered resources and built a sturdy shelter large enough to withstand wind and rain. As time passed, they fully adapted to life on the island. Even though they had no idea when rescue might come, their days felt meaningful and surprisingly happy. Then everything changed. One day, the man went diving for lobsters as usual, but when he returned to shore, he found a bloodied survivor lying beside the rocks, barely clinging to life. The man immediately rushed over to help, only to realize the survivor was the woman's wealthy husband. Even so, he carried the injured man back to the beach. When the woman saw her husband was alive, she threw her arms around him in tears. Together, they helped him back to the shelter. The man handed the wealthy husband a bowl of fresh water, which he drank in a single gulp, finally regaining some strength. Soon afterward, the husband became affectionate with his wife. Watching this unfold, the fisherman felt deeply uncomfortable. Later, after the wealthy husband fell asleep, the fisherman sat alone on the beach, quietly regretting his decision to save him. The woman tried to comfort him, saying that one more survivor meant one more chance to stay alive. Only then did he manage a faint smile. After recovering, the wealthy husband noticed something unsettling. The servant who once obeyed his every command had somehow become the hero of the island, winning admiration with nothing more than simple fishing skills. Determined to prove he was still in charge, the wealthy husband secretly lit the campfire with a lighter, while the fisherman was out at sea, then mocked him for relying on primitive fire-making methods. The next morning, while the fisherman was diving again, the wealthy husband dismantled their large shelter and split it into two separate huts. The one left for the fisherman was little more than a shack. Not wanting open conflict, the fisherman chose to tolerate it, but he stopped sharing the food he worked so hard to catch. The wealthy husband was unconcerned, because he had recently found a knife washed up on shore. By evening, he had carved a spear from it and tried spearing fish along the coast, but failed to catch anything. Left with no other option, he took his wife into the mangroves to catch crabs. After eating just one, he immediately began vomiting violently. The couple had gone an entire day without food. Desperate and hungry, the wealthy husband secretly stole the fisherman's diving mask and spear, then slipped into the water. Before long, he successfully speared a large fish. Feeling proud of himself, he tossed the diving mask back to its owner, expecting an argument. But the fisherman did not seem angry at all. Instead, a strange smile appeared on his face. The wealthy husband found the reaction unsettling, so he hurried back to his wife, demanding to know what had happened. But she hesitated, avoiding his questions and refusing to explain. Only then did he understand. While he had been out fishing, his wife had betrayed him. Rage instantly consumed him. He grabbed her roughly by the hair and dragged her toward the fisherman. Then he turned around and walked toward the far side of the island, determined to cut ties with both of them forever.